Well, it's good to see everybody. It's great to be back. This is one of those special days that that you like to have and you look forward to each and every year. And it's good to be around the colleagues, and also a great chance for these two to really see what it's going to be like in their professional career when they have lots of people that want to talk to them. And just to see the student athletes walking around and knowing how good that they are, just it's kind of daunting. I mean, it's going to be a heck of a year in the Pac-12.
Anne-Marie Anderson, Pac-12. Hi, Kelly.
Hey.
There's this moment. Wondering, before we get to these athletes, last year in the spring when Sedona Prince texted the inequity between the NCAA tournaments, what was the conversation surrounding the team and with you and Sedona when all of that really took off?
Well, first and foremost, I'm really proud of Sedona for
Right.
everything that she stands for. She's not afraid to put herself out there, as were her teammates. I think
Right.
that was a decision that they made. We talked about it, but I was not aware that they were going to do something on social media, and thank goodness they did. I thought it was really powerful. And then for her, in the position she was, with all the attention, to back it up with great play in the NCAA tournament, I think really showed everybody what an amazing young woman she is. And she's now taken it to another level and continues to champion, the inequalities that we still see and should not see, but still do. And if you've seen her, on the Good Morning America, CNN, all these talk shows, the passion, the articulation, the knowledge that she shows, when it comes to NIL and the gender inequities, she's just been phenomenal. So as have all of them.
Nyara, who do you think's more excited, us being able to see you play or you being out there and going for a full season this year?
I would say I think we're most excited to just have fans back in the stands and everybody that can come and watch the games. But I'm pretty sure our Duck fans are also really, really excited to finally see us play, especially because they've never seen any of our team play live yet, right? Nope, they haven't.
No, we don't have one player that's played in front of the Duck fans.
Hi, Bruce Pasco for the Arizona Daily Star in Tucson. And Kelly, I know it's almost a cliche to say the league is strong or whatever, but I didn't know kind of how you might break down how you see the race playing out, you guys being picked second, and what do you think of the teams at the top?
I didn't catch all of that. I don't hear real well, so I'll just make something up. No, I really like my team. I do. Is that what we're talking about? I think we have all the makings of, I think, a really solid squad. We have depth inside. We have talent. We have playmakers. Our guard line is going to be as good as any, certainly in the conference, but maybe even beyond. Love our versatility. And, we've got some players that I think are potential rock stars. I mean, you look at the two right next to me here, even though they're both just playing in their second seasons this coming year, I think you've got two of the best players in the country. So, now it's just a matter with 7 new faces, just kind of putting it all together. And so far, I really like what I see. I never worry about the expectations. We've been picked to win this league several times. We've been picked at the bottom a few times. And, that's the great thing about playing 18 games. You have a chance to prove it one way or another.
Michelle Smith, Pac-12.com. Kelly, for you, and then I want to ask the players. This is a third year in a row where there's a lot of transition in this team, a lot of change, obviously. How is that for you in terms of just being in this constant space of transitioning into a large group of new players? And then for the players, how has this transition gone for you? And is it more work to continue to bring in big crops of new players and then try and get yourselves in a spot where you've got good chemistry and you're playing together?
I would say, I kind of love having new teammates. I get to meet new friends and new sisters. I'm always really excited to have new people on the team. I think I think it always kind of turns out great. I mean, our coaches do a great job recruiting, so I'm never too worried about the basketball aspect. And I mean, this year, all of our players are amazing on and off the court, so I'm really looking forward to just spending time with them off the court and playing with them on court.
Well, you know, change is good, and I think this year it's going to be very exciting to watch this team play. You'll expect us to play with heart and toughness every time we get on the court, and we're just going to put on a show for you guys, and it's going to be exciting and a fun watch for sure.
Well, they said it very eloquently. You know, we're going to really rely on our returners. You know, that's the core of our group. And I expect all 6 of them to really be dialed in and focused and help the newcomers. One of our newcomers is India Rogers. She's no stranger to the Pac-12. She's been an all Pac-12 player at USC. So she comes in with a lot of experience, which will really help. You know, it's this good group. It's always difficult. Every year you always have some change. I think we're used to it, and quite frankly, I think it's kind of a sign of the times now. I think this is going to be more the norm than not. But we play a pro system, and so I think most of our players play at a pretty high level, and they come in as highly touted recruits. So, you know, they're I think a little bit used to it, and they're ready for it.
Joan Bonvicini, Pac-12 Networks. Hey, Kelly. This is for the players. I'm glad you're healthy again, and for both of you. How is your team different this year than compared to last year? And I know it's early, you haven't played a game, but you can tell when you're practicing, right? So share that, please.
Well, you can't really compare teams. I mean, last year we had a difficult year during COVID, so you don't really get that continuity that we usually get. So this year we did a little team bonding trip. Everyone bought in, and you know when everyone buys in, it's a great time. But this year it's going to be really fun, but just super excited and, you know, ready to go out there and play in front of fans.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the same thing. It's kind of difficult to like compare teams and because everybody's so different. But I think our coaches always kind of look for the same type of players. So it's kind of, I mean, we're pretty tall this year. This is kind of like we're extremely tall. But I mean, we're good inside, we're good outside. It's kind of the same as it always has been, just different players.
Yeah, on paper, it looks much more athletic than you have been. I mean, I would just say, which of your transfers is going, or even new players, because you have a bunch, you have 7, right? Is going to be, in your eyes, as players, the most impactful?
I think it's just we have a couple new really like gritty guards. I mean, India is an amazing player. She's a really good athlete. We have a new transfer, Elise. She's really good on defense. So I think this year might a little bit more focus on like our defensive kind of game. But I think all of our kind of new people are really like gonna surprise a couple of people in the Pac-12, and I'm really excited for people like to see them and them to like shine in the light of the Pac-12.
As you said, all of our players are impactful, but I'm really excited for you guys to watch 6'8" Philly play defense against our teams. She's 6'8", I'll tell you, but she's gonna be exciting to watch. She's learning and growing during practice, so just watch out for those players, and it's going to be very exciting, that's for sure.
Did you want me to chime in on that? Okay. Well, I think we have more playmakers in the backcourt. I think last year we put a lot on Te-Hina, and I think this year we can share that a little bit more. I think Maddie Shear's experience in the NCAA tournament after Te-Hina had gotten hurt, I think has really helped her. India's also a playmaker there. And then Taylor Bigby, one of our incoming freshmen, you know, is really an active player, especially on the defensive end, but great in transition and can, you know, play downhill and get to the basket. So I think in the playmaking in the backcourt, we're going to be a lot better. Last year, we just didn't have that ability. We're, again, good inside, and I thought Nyara said it really well. I think defensively, we're going to be a little bit better, and we do have some players kind of the small forward spot that can create some problems, especially defensively.
David Yapkowitz from The Next. Te-Hina, you know, speaking of that, having extra playmakers in the backcourt there, just kind of what's the dynamic like sharing the backcourt with somebody like India Rogers? Both you can play off ball, both you can play on ball. It's kind of similar, I think, to the dynamic you had at La Jolla when you were playing with Jazzy. That you both, she kind of took that pressure off you as the ball handler. Just, how do you see that dynamic shaping up as the season goes on?
We're going to be a fun backcourt, I'll tell you that. She's a great competitor, a great player. She, Pac-12 experience, so she's been helping me out a lot with reading screens and coming off ball screens and off ball screens. So being able to have a point guard like her has really helped my game grow, playing off the ball. So having her in the backcourt is going to be really fun, that's for sure.
Lisa Woodward, Pac-12. Te-Hina, I'm over here. Hi. Last year you had such a great season until you got injured, and then you had to miss what is the best part of the season, which is down the stretch in postseason play while your team made it to the Sweet 16. For you, what did you learn by sitting and watching, and how much did it motivate you to come back and either change your game or be even more mature as a sophomore?
It's definitely helped me become a better leader. On the court I can be leading my team, but off the court, it was a different experience for sure. But watching the game on the sidelines, it kind of helped me put perspective into the game a little more. So this year I'll become more of a vocal leader instead of leading by, example or actions, but really saying what I need to say and getting through to my teammates.
Alyssa Charleston, Pac-12 Network. Coach, this is for you. Just your evolution of coaching styles with different players that you've had from, Courtney Vandersloot and the Gonzaga team, the high-low, and you say pro style now with the athletes you have now. Where would you say your identity as a coach is? Like, what is important to you, and how are you kind of projecting it on this year's team?
Well, I think if you look at my personal history, we've always had really good offensive teams. That's just kind of been our MO over the years. I think when we've had our best teams, those teams also defended well. And I just think that's an area I've got to get better as a coach. I have to do a better job and pay more attention to the defensive end. I really feel like we have some potential on that side of the ball this year. But to my core, when I'm watching a game on TV, and by the way, we're really Sky fans here because of not only Courtney Vandersloot, but Ruthie Hebert, and we would love for her to win a WNBA championship. But that's where my eye goes, just naturally. And I'm really excited about seeing what Te-Hina's journey holds for her. I've been able to coach a couple of the most iconic point guards in college basketball history, and I'm certainly don't want to put that kind of pressure on Te-Hina, but I think with continued growth and as she continues to get better and better, she's going to be another one of those really, really special point guards, and we're sure glad that she's on our side for sure. And if you want to be an offensive team, you got to have that great point.
Definitely. And then for the players, I asked this to another team, but the toughness that goes along with playing basketball through a pandemic, the testing, all that stuff, it's not easy, but also if someone does test positive, the blame or the guilt that I think people in the regular world felt when you're on a team. How did you guys handle some of that stuff when you saw it, either on your team or other teams, just kind of, I guess, leadership stepping up, or just to make sure that people didn't feel that way, that because teams could fall apart in that kind of scenario?
We really only had one kind of COVID scare last season, and then it wasn't really we never really think of it that way. We never put the blame on anybody because it's COVID. Everybody can just catch it going to the supermarket. We didn't really do a lot of outside of basketball. Just because of last season, we kind of made it clear in the beginning of the season that we need to focus and stay locked in. We can't be going outside, obviously, and breaking a bunch of rules. And I want to say our team really stuck through with that, and we didn't have a lot of COVID issues. We never put the blame on anybody. If somebody tested positive, we made sure to check up on them and made sure they're good, because in the end of the day, it doesn't really matter as long as we all stick with each other and are there for each other.
Can we go? Okay. I'm going to get down to some serious issues here, Kelly. All right. Have you pulled the Halloween stuff out of the rafters? And what is the new feature for this year's haunted house? And don't tell me that Mary's going to get mad at you. Just Tell me what's going to happen at the haunted house.
Well, it's funny. Everybody wants to know, hey, have you put your haunted house up yet? I'm a married man, right? And my wife would kick me to the curb if I displaced her from the garage too soon. So I put it up like 2 days before Halloween. But yes, it's back on after a COVID year off. There will be goblins and ghouls and some zombies. And I have a great video that I need to share sometime on Nyara. Just scared the holy loving bejesus out of her. And but it's fun. It's something I love to do. It's my last thing before all the attention turns to basketball. But yes, the haunted house is on again. Maybe we'll go live this year on Twitter. We'll see.
And on that note, if there's nothing else, Nyara, Te-Hina, Kelly, thank you so much.
You got it. Thank you.
Thank you.